Rawr! Welcome to Mia the Math Mutt answering the pretest. As you can see, Mia really loves math. Mia has helpful hints for writing any test. First, always highlight the question, write the formula and show your work, and don't forget the unit of measurement. For this question, we have to find the area and perimeter of the shapes. This first one here, A, is not a normal looking shape, so I'm going to divide it into two shapes I recognize, a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, when I look around I notice that I don't know the length of some lines, like this line here, so I have to figure that out. Well, it's parallel to this one here, the 6 meter one, so this also has to be 6. So to find the perimeter, I know the perimeter is to add up all the external sides. So I make a little tick so I can know I've done it all. So I'm going to add 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3. So the perimeter of the entire shape is 26 meters. To find the area, I need to find the area of each individual shape. So first I'm going to find the area of this rectangle here. And I see it's 8 meters by 6 meters. I write down the formula, length times width, so I know that the area of the rectangle is 48 meters squared. To find the area of the triangle, I know that I first write down the formula, area equals base times height divided by 2. Whoops. And when I look at this the formula is base times height divided by 2. But when I look here, I'm looking for two perpendicular lines, and I see, aha, this line is 2 meters, and the perpendicular line is this one up here. Whoops. And I know that is 8 meters long because it's the same length as this line here. So then I do 8 times 2 divided by 2, which gives me an area of 8 meters squared. So the total area of the shape is 48 plus 12 meters squared. No, 48 plus 8 meters squared. Have to be very careful when I write, which is 56 meters squared. Notice how I've laid it out. I label it perimeter, area, give the formula, so anyone looking at my paper can follow what I'm doing. Now let's go to this shape here. It is made up of two rectangles, and again I notice I have no measurement for this line or this line, so the first thing I'm going to do is figure it out. I know that the bottom line is 16, and this line here is 10, so I know that 10 plus 6 is 16, so this is 6. I know for the other line that this line is 12, and this line here is 8, which means this one has to be 4. Now I can do the perimeter, and I add up all the sides, so I'm going to add up 12 plus 16 plus 8 plus 10 plus 4 plus 6. So the perimeter is 56 centimeters. To find the area, I have to find the area of both shapes. So I'm going to start first with this triangle here. And that's 12 meters by 6 meters. So I know 12 times 6 is 72, so the area of this triangle is 72 meters squared. And the area of this triangle here is 10 by 8, which is 80 meters squared. And when I put them together, the area of the entire rectangles, or the entire shape, is 152 centimeters squared. And it's very careful. I have to make sure that I follow. This was centimeter, so this is centimeters squared. And for this one here, it's meter squared because this one is meter. Show all the ways you can make a rectangle with a perimeter of 12 units. Perimeter means the area around the side. So if I count down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have one side of 4, one side of 4, which means this has to be 2 and 2. Or I can have a side that's 5, 5, 1, and 1, or 3, 3, 3, and 3. A rectangle has sides whose lengths are whole numbers. Its area is 24 meters squared. Find all the possible rectangles of this sort. So when I read this question, the first thing I do, as always, is write the formula. You get free points for writing the formula, so always do that. area equals length times the width. They've told me the area. The area is 24, so I just need two numbers when multiplied together will be 24. So I make my life easier by being systematic, and I start with 1. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, or 4 times 6. Sally says she can find the area of a rectangle if she knows the perimeter of the rectangle and the length of one side. Is she correct? Explain with an example. There is two things I need to do. I need to say, is she correct? And then I have to give an example. In fact, Sally is right. Let's look at this rectangle here. So pretend I know that the length is 4 and the perimeter is 10. Well, I know in a rectangle if this side is 4, then this side is 4. So now I'm up to 8, and if the whole perimeter is 10, this has to be 1 by 1. Well, yes, absolutely I can find the area. I know the formula for the area is length times width, and so I know the formula here is 4 times 1, so the area would be 4 centimeters squared. Therefore, if you know the perimeter and one line, then you can automatically know the area as well. For each quadrilateral, say how many pairs of sides are parallel, then identify. This first one here, this line is parallel to this line. Notice I make these little arrows. That shows one line is parallel. For the second line, I'm going to use 2 arrows. So someone looking at it can tell, oh, it's got 2 different sets of parallel lines, and it's a rectangle because it has 4 90-degree angles. The next one is a parallelogram. It's got 4-sided angle with 2 sets of parallel lines. Therefore, it's a parallelogram. Again, I am showing 2 sets of parallel lines. The square is the next one. It has 4 sides all equal with 4 90-degree angles and 2 sets of parallel lines. And for my last one, there is only 1 set of parallel lines, and I know that an object with 1 set of parallel lines and 4 sides is a trapezoid. Next question, find the area of the following parallelograms. Immediately, I write my formula to get points. Area equals base times height. So the first one, the answer is 48 centimeters, and the second one, the answer is 12 centimeters. What is the volume of this triangular prism? We remember that volume is the total space it takes up. That is a 3D shape. It is a triangular prism, so I know this is really important. The volume of any prism is the area of the base times the height. Because this is called a triangular prism, the base is this triangle here. I know that the formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2, and so that's the area of the base times the height. So the volume is 2 times 4 divided by 2 times 8, so the answer, the volume, is 32 centimeters cubed. Measure the base and height of the triangle, use a ruler, then find the area of the triangle. So I measure the base, and I find it 6 centimeters long. I measure the height, and because it's a triangle, I must look for the perpendicular line from the highest to the lowest point. So here's the highest point in the triangle to the lowest point in the triangle, to the baseline. And I draw a straight perpendicular line, which is 2. Again, I write my formula. Area equals base times height divided by 2. So the area is 6 times 2 divided by 2, so the area is 6 centimeters squared. 2 goes up here when it's squared. Because this is written as a question, I must give my answer as a sentence. A parallelogram has base 8 centimeters and area 24 centimeters. How high is it? Well, as usual, start by writing the formula. They've told me the area. They told me the area was 24. They told me the base was 8. So 24 equals 8 times something. Because I know my timetables, I know that 8 times 3 is 24. So the answer in a sentence is the height of the parallelogram is 3 centimeters. Draw a triangle with a base of 4 centimeters and then draw 2 base angles that are 30 and 100 degrees. Well, the first thing I think of before I even take out my protractor, I know a 30-degree angle is an acute angle, so it's going to look something like that. And a 100-degree angle is an obtuse angle, so it's going to look something like this. Okay, so then when I go and I take my protractor, I put it right on the vertex, which is the point where 2 arms meet. And because the line is pointing this way, that's the 0 I'm going to start at, and I mark 30 degrees there. Then I quickly remove my protractor, And I'm going to draw a straight line with the ruler, no freehand or you make a mess, from here to here. Then I go back and I need a 100-degree angle. I remember it's going to be an obtuse angle. Okay, and then I'm going to quickly put a dot. Notice that the arm, I'm going to start at this 0 here because this is where the arm is pointing. And I go to 100 degrees here. And then, of course, I'm going to join it up with my ruler, this line and this line. There, now I've got my triangle. What is the volume and surface area of this rectangular prism? So they're asking for two things. The first is the volume, which is how much space it takes up. So I know, I write the formula. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. So the base here is a rectangular shape. So if I look at the base of this whole shape, whoops, that's 6 times 2, which is 12. So the area is the length times the width times the height, which is 6 times 2 times 3. 3 is the height. So the volume is 36 centimeters cubed. When I'm looking at surface area, I am looking at the area of all 6 sides. I am pretending I'm wrapping it. It's kind of a wrapping paper question. I look at the front shape right here. This face is 3 by 2 centimeters, so that's 6 centimeters squared. Well, if the front is 6, then the back is going to be 6. Okay, then I go to my next section. I see that the bottom, I knew from before, the base is 6 by 2, which is 12 centimeters squared. If the bottom's 6, then the top is going to 12, then the top is going to be 12. And then finally, there are the sides. So you got to remember there's 6 sides to these shapes, so I have to have 6 numbers. So then the side is 6 along and 3 centimeters high. So one side is 18, which means the other side is 18. And so when I add up everything, the total surface area is 72 meters squared.